Hello everyone, today I'm going to do my second Tay Talks video. I have an author spotlight and then I have two other books to talk to you about. So first up for the author spotlight, it's going to be Tracy Chevalier, one of my favourite authors. She writes historical fiction and she's fantastic. So I've read 3 of her books now and I'm going to do mini reviews of them. So first up we have A Girl with a Pearl Earring. This is the most famous book from Tracy Chevalier. And this portrait here is a real portrait that was done by Jonas Vermeer, and this story follows the girl in the portrait. So this isn't fact, it's just based on things within fact. So this picture is a real picture, but she's made up a fictional world of who this girl could be. So this girl in the book is a girl called Greet. She is 16. Her dad has gone blind in an accident and she has to go and work for a maid for Jonas and his family. He's a very famous painter and he starts painting her. It's about her kind of surviving and navigating the time as well, and how women were treated at that time, because there's a man who keeps coming to the house who's very rich and starts sexually assaulting her. Tracy Chevalier's books really go there with, you know, heavy subject matters, so he thinks he can just do whatever he wants to her. There's a really lovely boy in it and they start a relationship, and it's really about Greet trying to survive. And one thing that I love about Tracy Chevalier's main characters is that they're not perfect. They're just normal people making mistakes, making a lot of bloody mistakes, but making mistakes, and that's why they're a lot more relatable, and I love her books. So Greet should not be modelling for this picture. And she tells the boy in it what she's doing and he's like, no, you're a maid, people are going to think you're sleeping together, you're going to lose your job, what on earth do you think you're doing modelling for this man? Because he's just going to throw you away like trash if anyone finds out about it. And it's so sad and so beautiful, and I love this book. It's one of my favourite all-time books. The second book I read from Tracy Chevalier is Falling Angels. Now this follows 2 girls and they take it in turns to tell of their stories. They're little girls who are in a graveyard. They're at someone's funeral and then they start playing along the gravestones. It's very weird, and that's how their friendship begins. One of the little girls, her family this is set in the beginning of the 19th century. One of the girls' parents are very traditional and they believe that she should follow a set way, get married, have children, that is her life. The other girl's parents, her mum is a suffragette, and Emily Pankhurst is in this book. And this is all about women's rights, but it's also about how not all women believed in the suffragette movement, and we don't really talk about those women at all, those traditionalists, and maybe why they had those views. And so it's about them, it's about suffragettes, and it's about police brutality towards the suffragettes. I really enjoyed this book. And then lastly I read this one, which has a very different writing style to the other 2 books. This is called The Blue Version. It's about 2 women and they take it in turns to tell their stories, chapter each. So one woman is modern day and the other woman is in the 16th century. Yes, so very different. In all her other books, they're all at the same time, talking at the same time, that's it. The modern day one, she's an American who has come to live in a small French town and she's not settling in, and then she has an affair with a Frenchman, and it's about how her loneliness, her husband works away, and her isolation forces her into this affair, really. She just wants comfort and love, and she knows it's wrong 100%, and she loves her husband, but it's just about circumstance. Then the 16th century one, loved. I thought it was fantastic. And it's about a woman who, she's in a small village. They think she might be a witch, they're not sure. She's a bit odd. She's got this very bright red hair. And she marries a man to kind of clear her name and to give her some sense of normality. And unfortunately, he's absolutely horrible. He's this horrible, arrogant, cruel, brutal man that she ends up marrying. It's about religion at the time, and she becomes very obsessed with the Virgin Mary. It's why it's called the Virgin Blue. She loves the Virgin Mary, and she gets a little bit of blue material that she buys from a stall, and she gets it out, and it's her one item, her one treasure. This little bit of material. Tracy Chevalier's detail in her writing is stunning. As soon as I picked this up off my shelf, I was taken back to where they live, in that stone-built building with that open fire, with the stables, everything literally flooded back to me. It was like an out-of-body experience. It was so weird. But that's because Tracy Chevalier's writing is so spectacular. Very brutal end to this. The modern day woman, how it kind of relates is that they are on the family line, so they are related but like distant related, and the modern day woman keeps having visions about the colour blue. just they're haunting her, the colour blue. And it's obviously because the 16th century woman had that bit of blue material and something that happens at the end. My problem with this is the modern day story I did not care for. She's tracing back her ancestry, she's having this affair with a Frenchman. I just didn't care. And I think if it had been done in a separate book and that was it, I'd be like, oh okay, that was alright. But because it was a Tracy Chevalier book, and Tracy Chevalier's historical fiction is so spectacular, I just thought it was weak within the book and I didn't connect with it at all. So the 16th century pieces, absolutely stunning. I could not wait to find out what happened. At the end I cried. I actually shed tears. It was stunning. But the modern day one I didn't like, so I wouldn't say I really liked this book because, you know, I didn't like the modern bits of it. So there is good old Tracy Chevalier. Tell me down below what your comments are of the books, if you like them or not. A Girl with a Pearl Earring has been turned into a film. Scarlett Johansson plays the lead role, and I didn't think she'd be very good at it because Greet is very plain looking, and Scarlett Johansson is stunning, but Scarlett Johansson was perfect for the role. If you like the book, you'll love the movie. Fantastic portrayal, really captured the essence of what the book is all about. So I cannot recommend Tracy good old Chevalier enough. Oh my god, my voice like cracked with excitement. Next up, I have an unexpected book. In my last Tay Talks, I said, should I read any Colleen Hoover? I'm not sure, and it was a real split in the comments as to whether I should or shouldn't. Walked into a charity shop and I found this. Colleen Hoover, slammed. I was in absolute shock because I don't see her books in charity shops very often, so I thought I'd pick it up. They had, apparently this is a series, I did not know, and they had the rest of the books in the series, but I only picked this up because I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not. But yeah, I'm reading it. I'm reading this. And then last but not least, why don't we end on a bit of pornography? This is Called Back to Raw by Jackie Burton. I said in a haul a bit of time ago, I was talking about a book that publishers had sent me, and I said it's porn with a storyline and it was good, and I got a lot of comments saying what is that book, so I thought I'd just show it here. Here it is. Jackie Burton writes a lot of these books. I got sent this from the publishers and look at it. I was like, that isn't me, I'm not going to like this at all, and I read it and I really liked it. I thought it was a good book for what it is. So there's a lot of sex scenes, it goes into a lot of bloody detail. For an English person I was like, oh! Let's just say very graphic, but with a storyline. When I heard what this is about, I was like, no, this isn't going to be for me. Our two main characters, one is a football player and one is a model, and they meet because they're doing a modelling campaign, very sexual thing, and that's it. And I thought, oh god. But that's right at the beginning. That's not really what the storyline's about. They then can't stop thinking about each other, and they're falling in love with each other, and they've realised there's a spark and they really like each other. But they're not going to date because she says, I've got 2 kids, which those 2 children are actually her 2 siblings. Her parents have died and she now has to look after them, and she's really responsible, and she said, I'm sorry, I can't be with you because I love you and I feel this connection with you as well, but I am now a parent to these 2 children, and you are this bachelor football player who everyone loves and sleeps with different women. We're not going to be together. And so I thought it was going to be really cat and mouse, him trying to chase her, but it's not. It's about him saying, but I really love you, let me like have a connection with the children and maybe see, you know, if we can be a family or something. So he builds a connection with those children, and they're obviously going through grief and they're finding school difficult and everything, and he gets to know them through her and they decide to be friends. So he really connects with the children, and at this point there are sex scenes, but they're kind of like moments of passion or a bit of sexual tension. And I really liked how sensible and normal she was, and she had her own money, so there was nothing for her to gain in this relationship with him, just love, just falling in love with him. But how she was saying, we have to really be careful and really cautious because I have these 2 children that I need to keep in mind, and they are my main priority. And I liked that, how she said, if we get together, whatever happens, they will always be my main priority. And he was like, yep, 100%, I get that they come first, and whatever they want comes first. I enjoyed this. Good. And that's it. That's the end of my Tay Talks video. So leave your comments down below and I'll make another video like I did last time, answering your comments in a video like this. And I'll see you again soon for another video.